Hi everyone, it's Sam. So welcome to my new series. So basically, recently I have come to like a strange period in my life of like a lot of confusion. Like I'm 17 now and I'm going through a lot of changes, obviously, like going to college and puberty and, going into my senior year, all that shit. Like it's a lot. But nobody really expects like constant existential crises where you question every single decision you've made your entire life. And I realized that I needed some way to like talk about this. My boyfriend will listen, but he really won't like understand. Like my friends won't even give me the time of day. They're like, "Sam, what the fuck are you talking about?" And there's just somebody that I need to talk to. So here I am. I'm documenting my opinions and feelings about my life and my ever changing world. I don't know how the series will play out or how long it'll go for, because I have a lot to talk about. Don't know how consistently it'll be, but basically, each episode I'll cover a certain broad topic and just express my opinions on it. It's not going to be anything informational, like, this isn't what that is. This is basically just a diary. And just me expressing my opinions, and maybe if there's someone out there who is experiencing the same kind of things, then you can tune in and listen to what I have to say. Today's topic is going to be about the ethics of consumerism and basically my relationship with money. So, yeah, let's get started. My whole life, my parents and family have struggled with money and everything, and I won't get into details since it like really doesn't matter. Like, but we've always struggled, like my whole life, even more after with COVID-19. We took like a huge hit, and we're still dealing with that. And I think from being poor my whole life, I've developed a very strange relationship with money. Back then, I wasn't able to get things that I wanted. It sounds so spoiled, but like, I don't even mean it like that. Like, I don't mean that I didn't get like all the new stuff and I didn't get an Apple Watch and AirPods and an iPhone. Like, no, we didn't buy unnecessary things. That's normal. What I mean is, it was just constant hand me downs from my cousins, stuff from yard sales and our local garbage week. And that's when I would always get the coolest new stuff. If I went out to the store and asked, "Hey mom, can I get this book?" Like, we didn't have the money for it. I wasn't able to. And don't get me wrong, at the time it was always so exciting to get used things, even if they weren't exactly what I wanted. So what if we got our new couch from the side of the road? It's a nice couch that somebody got rid of. I was always very excited to get in the car with my parents and drive around and for hours looking for cool shit. But when I started getting older, probably like 5th grade or so, that started to change a bit. I became aware of everything everyone else had and began comparing myself to them. Like, I went to my first sleepover and realized my best friend's house was so much nicer than mine was. Like, they had like actual decent furniture and it was clean and it was like a decent sized house. All of my friends had new fidget spinners and fidget cubes and Jake and Logan Paul merch because it was 2017. And it's not like I needed these things, and I understood that I didn't, but it was such a weird feeling realizing that I didn't have money like other people did. It was frustrating when my parents only gave me $15 for the book fair when other kids got 50. I just wanted to be like everyone else. Why aren't you buying erasers, Sam? Why don't you get a poster? Because I don't have the money for it, and my parents said no. Although maybe I should have been grateful, because after being the oldest of four, $15 turned into 10, and 10 eventually turned into none. I got older, things got harder. My family struggled, and now I have a very strange and scary relationship with money and how I went about spending. Now I have a job. I recently got promoted at only 17, and things are going very well. Plus, I'm working on starting up my art business, which is what this channel is, so you should definitely check out my commissions and my Etsy shop. Anyway, things seem successful and I'm excited, but just like when I was in 5th grade, I am not like other kids. I'm hyper conscious of my spending habits, and I don't spend a lot of money on myself. While other kids my age are shopping and going out and doing retail therapy, as my friends call it, I am saving as much as possible to make sure my family is stable. Maybe I overthink it, maybe I don't need to save as much as I do. I find any way to cheap out and make sure that I don't have to spend a lot of money. This worked for a while, although I have come to hold an epiphany that has ruined my whole philosophy. In a world of consumerism, how does one live without buying so much? It goes without saying, but I've become like hyper aware of all the things I need to spend money on a daily. You need to buy food, water in some cases, shampoo, conditioner, face products, makeup if you want it, paper to draw on, art supplies, books so you can keep yourself entertained, new games so you can be happy, pay for your phone bill, electric, mortgage, pen, pencils, markers, sticky notes, clothes so you can feel good about yourself, new work shirts, gas to drive to work, blah 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 blah. There is so much. While most of these things aren't necessities, it is still so frustrating to live and try not to spend. When everything is advertised, shoved down your throat until you can't breathe, and the people around you are buying new stuff and you feel so jealous, how are you supposed to save for that new car? Working at my job at a company that I won't name, we are very highly encouraged to upsell. In fact, upselling is one of our main priorities. It makes sense, make people spend more, but it just feels so shady and wrong. I can't get myself to do it sometimes. Recommending a large instead of a regular when the same amount of food fits in both kills me, and it's killing people's wallets. Not to mention how my industry is directly contributing to the obesity epidemic and how our butter causes cancer. Anyway, I just can't comprehend hurting people like that. It puts so much moral questioning on us. We consume and consume and consume, and there is waste, and money is spent. And where does it end? In a billionaire's pocket. I, an anti-capitalist advocate, am directly contributing to capitalism. But how can one live in the United States and not contribute to capitalism? Everything is capital here. It doesn't matter what you do. If you live in the US, you are a product of capitalism. So it truly brings into question the truth of even being anti-capitalist. By growing up and experiencing the benefits and the horrors of capitalism, am I not technically naive for believing it is evil? I'm young and I haven't seen the wonders of the world, but I have seen the horrible things this system has done to me and my family. And although it has hurt me and my family, and ruined people's lives and ruined the planet, am I not privileged to live in this country? Does my privilege still stand if I am poor and being hurt by this system? I don't consider myself a communist or a socialist. In fact, I don't know where I stand economically. But I do know that myself and others deserve to live better. But does that come from a place of ignorance? Maybe if I lived in an underdeveloped country or a communist country, I would think differently. Maybe the United States would seem like a dream. Maybe all of my first world problems mean nothing compared to those in North Korea, and that's true. My problems are significantly less. I wouldn't be able to even make this video if I lived in North Korea. But does that make my problems not worth talking about? I'm not sure. Everything is so confusing. I don't even know how to ethically consume. Is any other teen worrying about this? Probably not. Is consuming ethically even doing anything? I should of course practice what I preach, but nobody is listening, so is my one decision changing anything? I guess if I do my part, I do my part. I bought makeup today. Was that a bad decision? No, it makes me feel good about myself and it's fun, but the waste. And it's going to a huge corporation. It's going on the backs of normal retail workers. I shouldn't support it. I shouldn't even buy from Amazon or any corpo. It isn't ethical. There is so much that goes into shopping and production that it isn't even possible to make sure that everything is 100% ethical. Not to mention, ethical buying is expensive. You want to buy that cruelty-free, eco-friendly, small business, recycled, handmade, natural item, you better be ready to pay a lot of money. They need to be paid for their labor. But isn't that what turns most people off? Small businesses, even if they price their stuff properly, are expensive. It's an investment to shop from a small business, a worthy investment. But if you're working a normal job and you're a normal kid like I am, how am I supposed to make sure what I'm doing is helping society? Yes, I want that cute handmade bag. Holy shit, it's $300. There's no winning. Companies like Shein or AliExpress are able to make their stuff cheap because they work off the backs of laborers who barely get paid a dime and have horrible working conditions. But shopping from other companies is too expensive. You can't be poor and happy in our economy. Yes, I want to dress in that certain style, but that's impossible if you can't afford to buy it. That's why companies like Shein and AliExpress are so appealing. You can get the trendy stuff at such an extremely low price. I find myself, even with my current morals, getting so eager to buy from somewhere like those sites because I just want to be like everyone else and have all that cool trendy stuff. There's an economy in peer pressure, an economy in trends. You make people feel left out, people spend money on those businesses and items that maybe they shouldn't. They buy from fast fashion, and eventually those trends die. Everyone throws their shit out, a new trend is born. It is an endless cycle. Fast fashion works off the backs of unpaid laborers and stupid people who purchase it because they have no other options. Easy solution, don't buy trendy clothes. But is it really ethical to ask somebody to entirely put their interest and happiness aside to save money? Is it really right to ask someone to stop spending money on Shein because it is unethical when they might not have the money to shop somewhere else? What is more important? The moral questions crush me. And now, what is my place in this? As a 17-year-old, what is my part? I don't shop at Shein anymore, or any fast fashion rather. I try my best to be cruelty-free and as eco-friendly as possible. But sometimes I catch myself slipping. Sometimes I do buy that plastic water bottle. It's cold and it tastes better than my tap. Sometimes I want to buy something unnecessary, but I switched from tea bags to loose tea with a tea ball to limit my waste. I try to only drink tap. I recycle, I compost. I limit using my dryer and instead a clothesline. I do so much, but there's still smoke outside my window from the Canadian wildfires. Is it me? Should I blame myself? How much do I have to be thinking about this? Or should I worry more about things in my personal life? What is even happening that I suddenly care so much about this? Should I buy anything at all? If I, a teenager, spend money on something that makes me happy, will I ruin the world? I have anxiety, I get that. I get that it's far-fetched and insane to think that I am personally ruining the world. But even having an iPhone, even making this video, am I contributing? I use electricity, I'm contributing. But is it even my fault? The more important question is, why do I care so much in the first place? Is being eco-friendly simply a way for me to feel better about myself? When you see an eco-friendly influencer or consumer, like, are they not just being eco-friendly for the brownie points associated with such? Does it give a sort of social hierarchy above someone else when you are an eco-friendly person? There are people who make thousands of dollars profiting off of the state of our current world. They create products entirely to help the planet, but how much of that is actually helping? Is their intention to help or to profit off of pretending like they're helping? Maybe the whole thing is to profit off of people's fears of the planet falling apart, so that brings things back to me. Is being eco-friendly okay? I'm doing it to help the planet. I want to help the planet and our lives, but is that all? Is there some sort of moral appeal to being friendly to the planet? I'm not sure. Maybe there's some appeal socially to being eco-friendly, but I don't think that's why I do it. I feel like it's not. Maybe my anxiety and with being ethical has to do much more with social pressure than anything else. Or maybe I'm anxious about literal death. Being eco-friendly in our world isn't possible. Maybe being on TikTok too much and social media and constantly being told that I'm doing everything wrong and that, I should just be better. Maybe having a constant stimuli in my brain since I was 6 years old is the problem. But I guess I'll never figure it out. Thank you very much for listening to my rant. I hope that you enjoyed it. I found it very soothing and poetic to just rant about all this shit. If you did enjoy the video, like and subscribe. I'm planning on making this a series, obviously. It took a lot of time to make, actually, like writing the script and everything, but I wanted it to sound like I was, reading out of a diary, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's why I made a script and everything. Yeah, I will be having new stickers on my Etsy shop soon. I will insert a picture here. And my commissions are open if you want to help me out with my business. The art in this video was an animation, or it was actually an animatic that I was working on. I was working on thumbnails for it. I ended up scrapping the whole idea anyway and changing it into something completely different, but that's besides the point. So yeah, my animation should be done within the next few months, and I've never done anything like it before, but I'm really excited. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. See you later.